is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Yeah. Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
angikhathali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work yena ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo kumele ngabenza njalo I owe myself impumelelo sesiseduze nayo Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mari Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mari Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Shigepisha machari mari Shilohini makanana Shilohini makanana Shilohini makanana Shigepisha machari Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilash makanana, shigepesha majarman. Ilash makanana, ilash makanana, ilash makanana, ilash makanana.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
angikhathali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work yena ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo melela benza njalo I hold myself impumelela sesiseduze nayo Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepesha majarima Shilo ini
Shilohini makanana, Shilohini makanana, Shilohini makanana. She get the shama jarma, yes makanana, yes makanana, yes makanana, yes makanana. She get the shama jarma, Shilohini makanana. Shilohini makanana, Shilohini makanana. She got the shama jarma, yes makanana, yes makanana, yes makanana, yes makanana. She got the shama jarma, yes makanana, yes makanana, yes makanana, yes makanana.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
phela isuke inzima. Hard work I am. Ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo, melela benza njalo. I hold myself impumelelo. Sesiseduze nayo.
Shilo ini makanana. Shilo ini makanana. Shilo ini makanana. She got the shamajari mani. Shilo ini makanana. Shilo ini makanana. Shilo ini makanana. She got the shamajari mani. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. She got the shamajari mani. Shilo ini makanana. Shilo ini makanana. Shilo ini makanana. She got the shamajari mani. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. She got the shamajari mani. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
ungakhali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work I am ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo melela benza njalo I hold myself impumelela sesiseduze nayo
Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepe shama jarima Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepe shama jarima Yes makanana Yes makanana Yes makanana Yes makanana Shigepe shama jarima Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepe shama jarima Yes makanana Yes makanana Yes makanana Yes makanana Shigepe shama jarima Yes makanana Yes makanana Yes makanana Yes makanana
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
kumina kuyabikwa angikhathali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work I am ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo melela benza njalo I owe myself impumelelo ngathi siseduze nayo
Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepe shama jarima Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepe shama jarima Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Shigepe shama jarima Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepe shama jarima Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Shigepe shama jarima Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
Financiers, researchers, innovators, and the very communities to help shape a national agenda for accelerating the adoption of innovative building technologies in South Africa. We have somebody that we've spoken to, I think, many times on this show, Mr. Sbusi Gote. He is the president of the Abahlali Basemjondolo and clearly is here to represent the side of communities and civil society, a civil society organization. Mr. Sigote, thank you for coming through. What does this summit mean to you as Abahlali Basemjondolo?
A very good morning to you and to your listeners. We are very cautious about spaces like this. As Abahlali, first of all, we think that the language needs to be simplified and made accessible to people. We are talking about technologies here, which your layperson on the ground isn't aware what this is all about. So, but we appreciate the fact that they have invited us so that we can make our input. Of course, we are living in the very modern times of new technologies, and we kind of accept, the changes that happens. However, we are also worried that this may mean reduction of jobs when the machines and technologies take over the legal job that we have. It is our fear. This is not to say that we are opposed to the new technologies, but we are saying the technologies needs to be creating more jobs. They should not be reducing jobs.
The minister expressed that they would be, but at the heart of what they're saying is modernization. They want settlements that are done at a faster time, and that are livable, and that will be modern, as I said. But beyond just the issue of the speed of the deliveries, civil society organizations expect IBTs to provide dignified housing that supports social integration rather than just temporary fixes. Did you, as Abahlali baseMjondolo, understand that, and are you okay with that?
Of course, we understand this, and of course we are for modernization. But this should not compromise the participation of people, their ability to make inputs, because the language itself bears them from such participation. So we are saying to government, in all these new technologies, they are good, but there needs to be more investment in social, making sure that people understand what this is all about, so that they can meaningfully participate in shaping and reshaping.
So
this.
the guest who was just here now, who we ushered out as you were being ushered in, was speaking about that in the process of building, they want to involve the very communities that they live, so that they understand the demands of the structures that they will be put in. And I realize also that a primary expectation is that these technologies, whether they are modular or 3D, because I'm sure you've heard of what they call 3D printed houses, must be culturally and socially acceptable to the beneficiaries. Because what was impressed upon me is the dynamics of people, because of inclement weather conditions, the dynamics of Durbanites or KZN people would be different in terms of weather expectation to those of Limpopo. We just saw what happened in Limpopo. Tell me about your understanding and on the demands of the cultural and social imperatives that would be placed by people of Abahlali baseMjondolo. When we say cultural imperatives must be considered, what do we mean?
Well, we mean that as much as we accept the modernization approach, but under no circumstances we should then forget who we are. We are African people, we have cultures. We have ways in which...
Meaning what? Meaning if ufuna ukuhlaba, you have to be allowed ukuhlaba. What does that mean?
It means the technology should not take away who we are. And what you are saying is part of that. We are cultural people. We have traditions that should not be taken away by the modern technology. So it is important, therefore, that traditional leadership, for instance, are invited, are involved into this. But most importantly for us, technology is that it shouldn't really take away skills from people, because what we fear is that corporates will take over. And because people do not know, and they have not been involved, they are not skilled. So these skills should empower people, should create jobs in order for it to be acceptable, and it should have the community voice, which will ensure that we do not then lose what makes us as
what do you
African.
say to those that will bring the argument that choose a side? Is it places to live or human settlements, as you may, that you want, or are you wanting to be the builders yourselves in the absence of what you're saying, corporate not getting involved? Which side are you advocating for here in this space?
We are advocating that the communities themselves should be involved and should be taking advantage of the opportunities. In other words,
meaning the opportunities must be given to them.
Must be given to to communities. They must be empowered in terms of skills transfer, in terms of skills development, and that's the way, the route to participate in the economy. Otherwise, this will push communities away, and again, individuals that are already financially sustained that are going to be exploiting these opportunities at the expense of the people who do not know the know-how.
To what extent are organizations like yourself, outside of these IBT summit, are you called into boardrooms to have conversation with government around what you feel the people on the ground need, or do you only get brought in at this level?
Interesting question. People of South Africa knows this. We are the people that do not count in our society.
The forgotten.
The forgotten. So part of what we are mindful of is that we probably have been invited here to put a stamp to endorse what we don't know. So that's our fear when we are not invited, when there are genuine conversation around these issues. Only when there are big summits, we are expected to legitimate something that we have not been part of in discussing. So yeah.
So do you find representation in all the provinces of South Africa as abahlali basemjondolo?
Well, we are just mending our relationship with the National Department of Human Settlements, and of course here Abahlali is represented. We have delegates from a couple of provinces that are here because somehow they thought this was important for Abahlali to participate. But
so it was government who invited you?
Yes, it's the Department of Human Settlement itself,
yes.
Which we appreciate. But we are saying they should not only invite us when there are big cameras, when there are big events like this.
They must invite you at planning stage.
At planning stage in those small boardrooms where planning processes are at the initial stage, so that we are able to shape the
So
conversation.
you and your colleagues, as you're going to make representation here, and I suppose put your voice in the discussion here, you'll be pleased when what happens at the end of the 2 days?
We will be pleased to hear that the IBT, the technologies itself, is going to be centered around people. In other words, they are not going to bring people from the West to take over the jobs and bring those big machines to take the already economy that is collapsing, reducing the jobs that are already not available for everyone. So our expectation here is that the technologies itself must be in a position of creating more jobs, skilling people so that they can meaningfully participate. That communities are at the center of technologies, because the danger is that only the few clever, the know-how, who will be playing a major role, and the rest of the communities of South Africa will be watching, because we do not we do not have what it takes. So this must be able to empower people. People must be able to participate and shape it. The language that is used in this technology must be simplified and be accessible to the ordinary people, so that they can play a meaningful role in shaping the technology.
I'm going to let you go, but thank you for coming to represent abahlali basemjondolo, and I suppose we'll talk again, because this is a project that they want to roll out, and we'll assess from you the degree of the involvement that you seek as abahlali basemjondolo. Mr. Sbuzi Gode is president of the abahlali basemjondolo. Let me remind you that we're going to go back to the commercial breaks that are in the studio, and then we're going to go to news, and straight after the news we're going to rejoin the Madlanga Commission. It's day 52 of the Madlanga Commission, and for day 52 we expect, as we've been told, witness F to take the stand. It's now 9:57.
For 90 years, one voice has informed, challenged, and connected a nation. SAFM, South Africa's national English public radio station. Established in 1936 as the SABC's very first service, the A program, evolving through the English service, Radio South Africa, to SAFM in 1995, shaping thought and strengthening democracy. From a full-spectrum station to a trusted home of news and talk, SAFM continues to lead the conversations 90 years strong. SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. Bridget Masinga on SAFM.
Siwela Langeni, co-founder of the book Circle Capital and author of Making Friends with Feelings.
Books are coming out like literally every week. Pen Macmillan announced that Rachel Kolisi is releasing a book in March. So today's agenda is a book that I'm so excited about, a book that has sold so well in bookshops nationwide. I Write What I Like by C. Biko, the famous book. It's the most stolen book at Book Circle Capital.
Really?
Yeah, and there's an isiXhosa version, Dibala Intando Yam.
Yes.
Translated by Professor P.T. Mtuze, and it's been done in conjunction with the Biko Foundation and the family, which features writing from the famous activist and Black consciousness leader Steve Biko before his untimely death in detention at the age of 30.
Bridget Masinga, weekdays on The Full Circle. The National Pulse, weekdays 3 to 6 p.m.
What's your thoughts regarding South Africa, what we're doing and what we're not doing regarding Zimbabwe?
South African government, when they are doing wrong, they are supporting the current regime, and that regime is giving South Africa problems. That's why you see here, we do have many illegal immigrants. They live in South Africa. President Ramaphosa, first thing that you need to do, you need to stop supporting Mnangagwa so that we won't have the problem that we are having in South Africa because of Zimbabweans.
Dino McLean, the Information, Publicity and Youth Leader for the Progressive Zimbabweans Foundation, the PZF.
Ashraf Garda on SAFM. Find the podcast at safm.co.za.
In our top stories, Madlanga Commission witness requests a formal postponement and MK Party slams O'Sullivan and Mokgotzi's refusal to appear before the ad hoc committee. Good morning. The new witness, who was set to appear before the Madlanga Commission, has requested a formal postponement through a High Court application. The witness only brought two evidence leaders this morning. Last week, Commission Chairperson Justice Mbuyiseli Madlanga granted an application to hear witness F's testimony in partial camera. More details is to follow later. Convicted rapist and murderer Thabo Bester says he will challenge his prison transfer to Ebongweni Super Maximum Correctional Centre in Kokstad in KwaZulu-Natal. Bester and attempted murder accused Vuzimuzikat Matlala were both transferred by Correctional Services to the Kokstad facility from the Hoshimampuru Correctional Facility in Pretoria. Briefing the media yesterday, the National Correctional Services Commissioner Maho Tito Bakale said the two were moved based on a security risk assessment. The MK Party has condemned the refusal by forensic investigator Paul O'Sullivan and businessman Brown Mokgotzi to appear before Parliament's ad hoc committee, citing alleged security concerns. The party says no individual is above the law and all persons summoned to appear before the committee must comply. The MK Party also said it has noted inconsistencies in O'Sullivan's position on security concerns and says adequate security arrangements were offered to Mokgotzi, which he declined. Sibonelo Nomvalo is MK Party Member of Parliament.
We are expressing our disappointment on the response by the Speaker, the response which she gave to the ad hoc committee, because indications were shown last year by Paul O'Sullivan that he has no interest of appearing before the ad hoc committee, and he has no regard for the committee, he has no respect. He gave us a condition. He wrote to the ad hoc committee. He said he will come on condition that he will appear visually. He will not come physically. And he will come on condition that he won't entertain questions from the MK Party, EFF and Action SA.
The trial of two people accused of killing Solomon Mhluli in White River is expected to resume in the Mpumalanga High Court. Ethel Mhluli and Peter Khoza are accused of killing Mhluli. It's alleged that Ethel contracted two men to kill her husband at their home in 2017. Police say Mhluli was assaulted and strangled to death before cell phones, a television and a vehicle were stolen. The accused are facing charges of conspiracy to commit murder and robbery. One of the accused, who turned state witness, had since passed on. Residents of suburbs northwest of Johannesburg, including Linden, Robindale, Ferndale and Randpark Ridge, have raised concerns over garbage piling up due to a strike at Pick It Up in Randburg. The strike has affected the collection of refuse in these areas for the past 3 weeks. An agreement between striking workers and the employer was announced last week, but services have still not resumed fully. Mark Naidu is the vice chairperson of the North Riding Residents Association.
We hope it's resolved. For the past few weeks, our community has been dealing with repeated delays in rubbish collection by Pick It Up, and residents are beyond frustrated. Uncollected waste is piling up, and was piling up, creating health hazards, attracting pests and robbing people of the clean and safe environments they deserve. Unfortunately, it's not a luxury service, but a basic municipal responsibility, and when it fails, the community suffers.
And finally, police in Japan have arrested the bosses of a high-profile agency which helps people quit their jobs. The young couple who set up the firm was seen being taken into a Tokyo police station after months of investigation. The BBC's Will Lenado has the details.
The company, Mormody, meaning I can't take it anymore in Japanese, was founded in 2022, promising to help often young, disgruntled employees leave their jobs by speaking to their bosses on their behalf. The service has been used by 40,000 people who sought to avoid confrontation in a country where quitting can in some circumstances be seen as a betrayal of a company and colleagues, a sense which analysts say has been compounded by increasing labour shortages. But Mormody's success appears to have run dry. It's alleged the company had been procuring legal support for clients without being a licensed law firm.
Recapping the top story, the new witness who was set to appear before the Madlanga Commission has requested a formal postponement through a High Court application. The application was only brought to evidence leaders this morning. For SAFM News, I am Anne Musa.
The Talking Point on SAFM. Weekdays, 9 a.m. till midday.
Yesterday, the Madlanga Commission heard testimony from Captain Lawrence Makhotlwe, who is a senior forensic analyst in the Automated Ballistic Identification System stationed at the Forensic Science Laboratory. Captain Makhotlwe testified that he was previously kidnapped and held hostage by rogue SAPS Special Task Force members. The goal of the alleged abduction, he said, was to force access to key evidence held at the Silverton Forensic Lab related to high-profile DJ Somebody's murder investigation. Captain Makhotlwe has been scrutinized for writing an incorrect case number on a critical ballistics report. This error is central to claims of a deliberate attempt to sabotage a murder case involving suspect Katiso TK Molefe. This morning, the Madlanga Commission is expected to hear testimony from witness F at 9:30. Let's go straight there now.
You are listening to the Madlanga Commission, live on SAFM.
Or he could even submit his first statement. He was not aware of the interim report, and the interim report is a confidential document that goes to the president. Nobody has an access to it. So he could not in any way been aware of the recommendations and findings in the interim report. Second to that is that even last week itself, I indicated in the last postponement application that just in the midst of preparation on the 29th, a day before, that's when the president made an announcement. And in that announcement, his name for the first time appeared. It is the only first time ever that he became aware. That was the night before he could appear in the commission. And second to that, or to support that, when we appeared on the commission on the 30th, we said, we have received this 4,800, now reduced to 1,300, but we have not yet finalized studying the documentation. So he could not have at that time appreciated what his rights and what his rights are, because he had not even gone through the documentation. So it is incorrect to then suggest that had he wanted to bring this thing, the matter he would have done so, and therefore there is no agency in the matter. And that's the part that will be argued in the High Court in terms of when did whether the matter is urgent or not. That's the first comment with regards to the comments about agency and when he became aware of that. The second aspect will also go together with the Section 35, subsection 3, in terms of the right to a fair trial. Is that now that he has have gone through the WhatsApp chats and now appreciate the veracity and the implications brought by these WhatsApp chats that he has now finalized yesterday, it became quite very clear that whatever answer, especially in light of this recommendation has been accepted, whatever questions they pose or whatever WhatsApp they display will implicate him in the next criminal proceedings that have already been approved by the state president, whether it's criminal proceedings or internal. So it greatly then affects the right to a fair trial in terms of him being able to, him possibly implicating himself. But also, I indicated that these WhatsApp chats, in the manner in which they've been extrapolated, which now the evidence says if there's a need for that, they could provide. They've been extrapolated or in an incorrect manner. And I gave an example of a WhatsApp that is being forwarded to him is now being portrayed as he is the originator of that WhatsApp. So even if you display them here, it will be misleading the country because it's going to be seen as he was the originator of that WhatsApp, whereas in actual fact he's not. And as a result of that, it then brought about in terms of whether the authenticity of these WhatsApp messages. Because how was the phone taken? What are the qualifications of the person who downloaded the WhatsApps? How truthful are these WhatsApp chats? Because in so doing again, will be a violation of his rights because we already identified quite a great number of them that they were not originating from him, but they are now being displayed as they originate from him. Now, with that being said, is that this commission will then be failing its own mandate because the mandate of the commission is that in terms of the terms of reference to their allegations, assess the information, and then make a determination if there's a prima facie evidence against a particular person. In this particular instance, decisions have already been made, recommendations have been made, but more importantly and central to that is how these WhatsApp chats have been obtained from his phone. It must also be remembered, Commissioner, when he received the first notice, it was not about WhatsApp chats from his phone. It was WhatsApp chats from somebody's phone. That's when he received the first notice and the summons. The only time he now receives WhatsApp chats from his own phone, and the evidence leaders testified about that, how they struggled to get the information from SAPS. They only got it last week, and therefore they were able to work it out. It was just last week. And therefore he could not have appreciated the nature of the WhatsApp chats any time before. He could not have appreciated the fact that he could bring an urgent application any time before until the state president makes an announcement on Thursday last week, and he was to appear the next day. And to respond to the two aspects that you said, I must maybe have a look at it. That in terms of Section 35, is the right to self-incrimination. Is that those WhatsApp chats are just the same as any oral evidence or any type of evidence. They are incriminating, especially if the source of how it has been extrapolated is highly questionable, which now portrays him to be the sender, whereas in actual fact he's not the sender. He's actually forwarding what was sent to him. He's not the originator of the message. And in terms of the terms of reference of this commission, one is that the commission need to look in terms of how criminal or drug cartels have infiltrated SAPS. And if there's a message coming from a person that perceived to be part of the cartel and sent to him or forwarded to him, and now he forwards to somebody else, and now he looks as if he's the originator of that, that makes him to be participating or having facilitated in the organized crime. So they have far much reaching implications, and hence the application to the High Court is to forbid and restrain this commission from using those WhatsApp chats pending the finalization of the High Court application. Thank you, Commissioner.
Mr. Nwatu, you've heard, and I assume that you know that to be a position of law, but you've heard Mr. Chaskarson say that anything that this witness says in this commission may not be used in criminal proceedings. So when you speak about self-incrimination, that is handled by the Commissions Act, which says, and the established law, that any evidence he gives here may not be used against him except for perjury, if he perjures himself there. So I expect that then that's not an issue. That's not a ground to avoid him testifying. That's one. Two, you make an assumption without a basis of what will be required or required of the witness to answer in any processes that the President has announced must follow, arising from what we have referred to, that there's prima facie evidence. And in fact, there's no basis to refuse to testify when you don't know, when he doesn't know how that process is going to unfold and what he will be required and expected to answer and speak to. So from where I'm sitting, your concern about self-incrimination, whether in court or in SEPS processes, doesn't seem to be grounded in law or in any known facts. And that in my view, should dispense with any concerns about self-incrimination. Two, you seem to, you're concerned, firstly, the witness seems to want to know in advance what he will be asked before it is put to him. That's how I understand the complaints, the grounds on which you're seeking this postponement from what has been said in the papers that you have filed with us here. That he wants to know what he's going to be asked because the language he uses is, I'm going to be asked questions in an open-ended fashion and I don't know where it will go. And that's a repeat of a theme of last week when you applied for the postponement. It was pretty much the theme. He doesn't know what he's going to be asked and it could go anywhere. But that's true for every witness. That could never be a ground, in my view, for any witness to be excused from testifying. So that's two, and you can say why I haven't heard why you say that's a ground for a witness to refuse to testify. And lastly, the issues you referred to about it's WhatsApp messages from other people forwarded to him. He doesn't know who downloaded them, the integrity, and he doesn't know the integrity of that process. But that's matters that witnesses get to speak to when they're in the witness stand. And I want also to note that there are two, from what you've said, there are two tranches of documents. There's the first batch of documents that he got previously, and my understanding on Friday of you was that he has no difficulty testifying to that. So it's not a blanket concern. Last week you said to us he has no difficulty. In fact, I remember saying to you, so we could proceed today on that first batch of documents and you wouldn't have caused a postponement, and you said yes. So your complaint doesn't relate to that, so you should be perfectly able to speak to that first batch of documents. The second batch is the 4,500 pages. Again, I'm going to repeat myself that what you're raising as matters of concern are matters that many witnesses have to confront on the witness stand, and they say, but this is not from me, it was forwarded to me, it's not mine. Those are answers that your witness should be able to give, and I don't see why that would preclude why he would be precluded from saying that. It has not been suggested that he wouldn't be entitled to do that. But importantly, it's not grounds to refuse to testify. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think, Madam Commissioner, you raised 4 points that I have to address and respond to. The first part being, we're making an assumption without a base that he might incriminate himself. I wish to submit with the greatest respect that the basis in which we're moving from, Madam Commissioner, and if I were to combine this aspect together with the last aspect that you mentioned in terms of the first part of the documentation. And when we approached the Commission the first time last week Friday, we clearly stated that the first part of the WhatsApp chats he received, they were not WhatsApp chats from his phone, but he was asked to make comments about it. And he had no problem in doing so, and he has since submitted to the Commission. The challenge and the problem, to compound the problem, was that when we now received the WhatsApp chats from him, we're given short space of time. But secondly, or on top of that, was the pronouncement by the President. Now, when the Commission now states that there is no basis for him to incriminate himself, is that the President has already made an announcement that he must be charged. It is a matter of administrative process that at any given time from now onwards he could be charged. And it is true, he does not know what he is going to be asked about. And if it's even worse with that he does not even know what is going to be asked about, that he could be saying things in the hope of clarifying and assisting the Commission whilst digging a grave for himself. And that becomes a dark room to walk into and navigate, because you're now walking into this dark room that you don't know. It even makes it even worse. But when we approached the Commission last week, we never at any given point asked to be given questions. We stated that yes, he was never given questions, but we never make any demand of being given questions. Now, that becomes a problem when you now finally receive the documents and you finally study the documents. And you find that the documents that has been given to you, and I don't want to suggest that this evidence that has now been given to you is being tempered to suit a particular narrative. But it then comes out clear that messages that were not sent by him are now being made to appear that they were sent by him. Because the contents, if you are to be asked about the contents of that particular message, which now shows you're the originator of that message, whatever answer you give, you are acknowledging and accepting the contents thereof. And that over and above the fact that the evidence from here may not be used against him at a particular instance, but there's beyond the right to self-incrimination that the person is entitled to. There's a right to dignity. This particular person is not just him, there's his family involved, and now a whole wrong, incorrect narrative will have been placed in the public domain, which not just affects him and his livelihood and his children and his wife. And hence, he wants to the court to interdict the use of these charts in the manner in which they've been presented to him. Because in the manner in which they're presented to him is incorrect. And he can't answer any other thing in terms of those.
Thank you, Mr. Wang.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Can I good morning, just clarify two things. I'm looking at the President's statement here, and I want you to tell me where the President says this witness must be charged. Because you're attributing to the President and to this Commission things that are not said anywhere, and you're using them as a basis for a postponement application and a High Court application. I will read for you what the President said in his statement. The Commission has said there's prima facie evidence of wrongdoing, and referrals are made in respect of these people. But you making an application on the basis that there's a criminal case and somebody has been charged. But there's no basis for that. Because wrongdoing could be HR related, could have nothing to do with criminal proceedings. So don't attribute to the president statements he did not make. That's the first point. The second point is, if your entire argument is taken to its logical conclusion, especially in relation to the privilege or the right against self-incrimination, it means your client will never testify in this commission. Because even in 6 months' time, there will still be a concern about self-incrimination, which means he should never come here and he should never take part in this commission, and we should just forget about it. Because that's the logical conclusion. Thank you, Mr. Mwata.
Perhaps if I may just add to the first point that Commissioner Khumalo says, reading from the President's statement, the media statement, it actually also reads that a task team will be constituted. The task team will institute investigations against people identified by the Commission for Investigation. So no way does it say your client is going to be charged and what he will be charged with. It just says a team is constituted to conduct investigations. So self-incrimination is not an issue that you can rely on at this point.
Thank you, Commissioners. I appreciate that. Let me start with the first one that Commissioner Khumalo indicated. Thank you. Thank you so much. That the statement by the President does not make any reference to any criminal case. It might as well be an HR case. But whilst we are quite very clear that in terms of the terms of reference of this commission, the commission is to make recommendations and findings for criminal charges and any other process. And that's in terms of the terms of reference of this commission. So I don't think any terms of reference from this commission can be taken less the criminal aspect as well. That's number one. Number two, even if the process may...
Mr. Mwata, you're not answering me. You said in your submissions, the President said your client must be charged.
Commissioner, if
now, I was simply pointing out that nowhere in the President's statement does he say that, because the statement says the Commission has found prima facie evidence of wrongdoing and has made referrals for investigation, which is what Commissioner Baloyi is emphasizing. Let's not play around with words. I mean, either you're answering what I'm saying and you address it specifically, or we don't deal with it at all. But to say you can imply other things that are not there, it's simply incorrect. You're making an application, and you're saying one of the grounds upon which the application is brought is that the day he was supposed to testify, he found out that the President said he must be charged. Either that is correct or that is incorrect. And then we can deal with the issue of self-incrimination, which, as I said, on your argument, that will always be there, which means on your argument, he should never come to this commission and testify. So those are the 2 points. Please deal with them specifically, but let's not go around them.
Commissioner, unfortunately, sometimes there is no just a simple way just to give you a yes or no to an answer. You have to give a context to it. And giving a context to it is not avoiding answering your question, but it's just trying to clarify the issue. But what I'm trying to say to you, Commissioner, is no tax team, no investigation will not lead to a person being charged. The tax team at the end of the day, the investigation at the end of the day, because there's a prima facie evidence of wrongdoing. Wrongdoing in this instance has not been explained whether it's wrongdoing only in terms of HR-related matters or in criminal matters. So whatever way that is going to answer, there is already a prima facie wrongdoing before you could make a written submission or could say anything. And that in itself, Honorable Commissioner, is a ground for one to
implicate. Mr. Mwata, isn't that the problem? You don't know what wrongdoing has been identified. You have absolutely no idea. Absolutely not. Maybe the wrongdoing is that he exceeded the speed limit on Rivonia Road. You have absolutely no facts to base yourself on to say whatever he's going to be saying about these WhatsApp messages in the 4,500 pages will be self-incriminating. You have absolutely no basis. You haven't seen the report. You don't know what that report says about your client or this witness. You have absolutely no idea. And so you have no basis whatsoever to say anything at all that he's going to be saying here is self-incrimination. As I say, and I say it without meaning to be flippant, but to make the point that it could be that the wrongdoing that causes the president to order an investigation against him is he exceeded the speed limit. You don't know. You have no basis. This is really, honestly, a fact-devoid application. You may want to argue the legal points that you rely on, but where you want to say, well, he's going to incriminate himself, well, the WhatsApp messages, there are no facts. We don't know what those WhatsApp messages, what his explanations are for them. We don't know, and yet you want to rely on that to persuade us, the commissioners, to grant a postponement, when you are not saying to us, here are the facts about those WhatsApp messages, here's what they speak to. And so you commissioners should not allow them to be showed. I mean, that's what you do with an application. You're asking for an indulgence from us. There's no order of court that says we can't proceed. So as matters stand, we are entitled to proceed. You seek an indulgence. You haven't, in this application, pleaded any facts on which we would base our indulgence, at least according to me. And I don't know that there's any, and of course subject to the chairperson, I don't know that there's
facts or law.
Facts or law, absolutely. I really don't know that there's any, we're serving any real purpose with this continued exchange. You have made your case on your papers, you've been engaged by us, you're not saying anything new to us, you keep repeating what you have said. I'm not sure where we're going with it.
Chair, with the permission of Chair.
Yes, Mr. Ngwato.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I really don't want to appear not listening and taking the cue from the Commission. But I really have a serious problem with the following issues that there is no basis. Chair, the Commission is based on the terms of reference. The terms of reference are quite very specific as to what the Commission needs to inquire. It is not any other thing. And the specific issues that the Commission needs to inquire is to establish the following issues. One, if there's any infiltration in...
Can you please, we all know what the terms of reference provide.
So when we look in terms of the answers is to give, it is not just any other thing, whether it's a speed limit or anything else. It is specifically in terms of the terms of reference of the Commission. We serve as the basis. If they say there's a prima facie evidence of wrongdoing, that is in terms of the terms of reference of the Commission, not nothing in anything else. And it is dead, Madam Commissioner, that we have looked in terms of what the terms of reference of the Commission is. We have looked in terms of the WhatsApps. We have looked in terms of the process. We have looked in terms of the answer that they have to be able to provide. Is there any possibility of implementation? Definitely there is. Whatever he's going to come here and say, he'll be incriminating himself. He'll be digging his own grave even deeper.
All of this arises from the point made by Commissioner with regard to what you said about what the President said. Can you please wrap up your response to that simple issue, please? Let's not open up the debate because you've addressed the debate with regard to other issues.
Yes, finally and in short, Commissioner, is that yes, the confirmation by the President tied the horse that there is, he has accepted the recommendations and the findings of the Commission. tax team must be set in terms of to investigate which investigation will lead to the charges, because there's a prima facie evidence that's already been established, and on that basis that serves as the ground for him to incriminate if he continues in that particular process. Whether is he going to ever come before the commission? Yes, after the finalization of the High Court. If the ruling of the High Court is that there is no merit, then he has to come and proceed. It's not like he's avoiding to come before the commission. It's known in this country, if you refuse to appear before the commission, you find yourself in contempt, and there are implications thereof. So he will come and appear if the ruling of the High Court is otherwise. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Ngwato. We have read the papers in the postponement application. We have heard submissions on the application. We notice that today's application is replete with a rehash of the issues that were raised in last week's postponement application. The only new issue really is the Section 35 point. The Section 35 point is answered simply by the response given by Mr. Shaskalsin and amplified or added to by Commissioner Baloyi. For the reasons given by Mr. Shaskalsin, that point is still born and therefore can never be a basis for a postponement of today's proceedings. Mr. Shaskalsin suggested a practical way of dealing with this to the extent that the witness may not be prepared to participate in today's proceedings. And that practical way is for the evidence leaders to exhibit the contested chats with what they see as necessary commentary on them. And Mr. Shaskalsin further says that if the witness is so minded, he may at a later stage come back to the commission and say, I now want to file an affidavit that responds to those issues. I now want to come to the commission and testify on those issues. That is, those issues being whatever arises from the chats that will have been exhibited and commented upon by the evidence leaders. That to me sounds like a sensible, practical way of dealing with the matter. That is, of course, if the witness insists or persists in his stance of not testifying today. But if we reach that stage, that is, of proceeding in the practical manner suggested by Mr. Shaskalsin, what we will not allow is for the witness to leave. We will not excuse the witness. The witness must remain in attendance, remotely of course. We will not excuse him. That is, if that is the stage we reach. Now, before we make a final pronouncement, Mr. Ngwato, may I ask for a response from you? And indeed, at this stage, perhaps I might even have to engage the witness himself. Mr. Ngwato, so is the position, because the inclination is that we should proceed along the lines suggested by Mr. Shaskalsin. So is the witness's position, through you as his representative, that he will not participate and that the evidence leaders should proceed in the manner in which they are minded to proceed? What is your response to that?
Honorable Commissioner, the witness has been made available. He's since been picked up at 6 o'clock this morning. He is available. He will sit in, but he will definitely not participate.
I'm very, my sincere apologies. Mr. Ngwato, can you please start from the beginning? I'm sorry.
In short, Honorable Commissioner, the witness will not participate.
Will not participate.
Will not participate.
Thank you.
Because for the reasons already given, if the commission orders him just to sit in and be available, he will sit in and be available, but he will definitely not participate.
Thank you.
Make no comment.
Thank you. As I said, I think we would like to hear the witness directly as well on this, because it's a very crucial issue. I do see witness F on screen. Witness F, have you been following? Have you heard what I've just said?
Good morning, Commissioner. I've been following you.
Good morning, Witness F. Mr. Ngwato has just said that you will not be participating, but I want to hear it from you, whether you also confirm that you will not participate.
I confirm, Commissioner.
But as you probably also heard, we as the Commission are not excusing you. We are not releasing you. You should continue being part of the proceedings remotely, even if you are not saying a word.
I confirm, Commissioner.
Witness E, but I will ask both Mr. Chaskalson and your attorney to respond. But what I must draw to your attention, we may have indicated an inclination as to the practical manner in which we want to deal with this. But we are just worried that what we are doing, which is informed by the practicalities arising from what was sprung on us this morning, may be seen to be creating a precedent for other witnesses. In terms of Section 6 of the Commissions Act, it is an offense for a witness to refuse to answer questions. So, to the extent that you say that you will not be participating, the entire context being that even if, please respond. You've heard that Witness F, and I hope you understand its serious implications.
Sorry, Chair, I just want to repeat on record that we will not ask any questions of Witness F. So, I mean, obviously we can't speak for the commissioners, but we will not be asking any questions. So, flowing from us, that issue.
And I hope you understand its serious implications.
Sorry, Chair, I just want to repeat on record that we will not ask any questions of Witness F. So, I mean, obviously we can't speak for the commissioners, but we will not be asking any questions. So, flowing from us, that issue will not arise.
Thank you, Mr. Chaskalson. Mr. Ngwato?
Thanks, Commissioner. I think that's much a loaded statement. Then he has nothing to answer if there were no questions to ask to him.
Although you can never anticipate that we will not want to ask questions. Mr. Chaskalson's attitude is not necessarily ours. So the point about the potential commission of a criminal offense still stands, and that's what I want you to respond to.
Commissioner, I don't think much, and this is me maybe subject to having to consult with the client and explain this clearly. I don't think he'll be committing any of that offense. In that one, he has presented himself, he's here. It is as a result of the discussion that and the ruling that has been made by the commission and the compromise that has been made by the evidence leader that they've got nothing to ask him. That him being available and attending and not answering questions because there are no questions will be committing any particular offense. And if the commissioners may want to ask him a question, he may answer and say no comment. And still, that doesn't make him to not be responding to questions, because he can as much simply to any other question, and I'm not trying to influence him not to answer any question. He may simply say no comment, because I've not had a legal advice or I'm not happy with the manner in which things have been. He could simply say no comment, and that in itself does not make him to be committing any crime in terms of that particular section. Thanks, Commissioner.
Mr. Nwatu, you and the witness may well be advised to look at Section 6 of the Commissions Act. Nothing precludes us commissioners or any one of us to ask questions of this witness. Whatever Mr. Chaskalson may have decided, whatever approach he may have decided to adopt, nothing precludes us from doing that, because we are the investigative body, the commissioners. And Section 6 says a witness who having been sworn, fails to answer fully and satisfactorily any question lawfully put to him. I want you to be mindful of that, whatever you advise the witness, as you're entitled to do, that whatever arrangement or whatever approach adopted by Mr. Chaskalson does not insulate him from questions from the commissioners, but it also doesn't insulate him from the legal obligation that arises from the Act to answer fully and satisfactorily questions that we lawfully put to him. I just wanted to point that out to you.
I appreciate it, Commissioner. Any answer given by the witness does not have to satisfy the commissioners. If no comment is equally what he wants to say, that is his answer.
I'm not opening a debate. You said something that I thought you seem to not be aware that his obligation is to answer fully and satisfactorily. Whether to say no comment is to answer fully and satisfactorily is a determination that we will have to make. Is the simple point that I'm making to you. So I'm not asking you to comment, and I'm not inviting an engagement. I'm just pointing out that as you advise him, including if you are going to say to him, as you have suggested, he may choose to do, to say no comment, ultimately it's for us, the commissioners, to determine whether a no comment is to answer fully and satisfactorily questions that we have asked. That's a simple point I was making.
As the commission pleases.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, can I just clarify? Is Mr. Maleka or another member of Mr. Nwatu's firm present with witness F at the moment? Because there are issues under Section 3(4) of the Commissions Act, which gives witness F a privilege against self-incrimination if he's asked questions. And I just want to clarify that there will be legal advice available to him where he is.
Mr. Nwatu.
Thanks, Commissioner. Unfortunately not. We were all divided in terms of other team members have been at the High Court this morning, as I indicated, and Mr. Maleka is here with me. So the witness, unfortunately, is not with any legal representative from our law firm where he is right now. He is at the offices of the attorneys. Okay.
Why can't Mr. Maleka be with him?
Well, that would mean for us, for Mr. Maleka to be with him, we have to stand down. But preferably, the leading attorney on the matter, I would prefer that I'm the one that's supposed to be with him than Mr. Maleka. And that would mean that I have to travel to wherever he is.
No, if need be, we would rather have to call him or something. I prefer, and I think this is shared by my co-commissioners, I prefer that you should be here with us in case there is a need for engagement and interaction. I prefer that you should be here, not somewhere remotely.
On that basis, Commissioner, may I ask that we stand down so that I can make necessary arrangements?
We were going to anyway.
Okay, thank you so much.
We won't indicate for how long, we'll just indicate when we are ready. Let us adjourn.
is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
angikhathali eyo nto phela isuke inzima hard work I am ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo melela benza njalo I hold myself impumelelo sesiseduze nayo Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana She got the shama chana mani Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana She got the shama chana mani Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana She got the shama chana mani Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shila pishama jana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Shila pishama jana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana Yilesh makanana
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
angikhathali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work yena ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo umelela benza njalo I hold myself impumelela sesiseduze nayo Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machana mane Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machana mane Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Shigepisha machana mane Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Shigepisha machana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
angikhathali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work yena ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo kumele ngabenza njalo I hold myself impumelelo sesiseduze nayo Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mani Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mani Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Shigapesha majarma, Shilohini makanana, Shilohini makanana, Shilohini makanana, Shigapesha majarma, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Shigapesha majarma, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
ungakhali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work I am ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo melela benza njalo I hold myself impumelelo sesiseduze nayo Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mani Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mani Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Shigepisha machari mani Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Shigepisha machari Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
khona kuyabikwa angikhathali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work I am ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo kumele benza njalo I hold myself impumelelo sesiseduze nayo Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mani Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mani Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Shigepisha machari mani Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mani Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Shigepisha machari mani Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
Just because he wants to go to the High Court so he can make more money.
Aye, man. You know, this witness, nah, you should understand the value for money, man. Huh? If you postpone, don't want to participate, his 25% should be taken from his pension fund. Because the more we postpone, the more the commissioner is making money and they say they're happy about it. No, this guy is making us to fish in the bucket, man. We might be born at night, but not last night, man. Huh? By justice.
Hashtag SAFM Talking Point.
Please note that the views expressed in this book are not that of the station. Listeners' discretion is advised. SFM presents another episode of the book Boardroom Dancing by Nolita Fakude, read by Vuyokazi Ted.
The third strategic goal spoke to the broader issue of transformation in the country at large.
First things first, let's get to my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
The attitude was one of hurt surprise and a criticism and acknowledgement of what needed to be done internally. Cecil was a successful entity. It had grown and expanded and delivered economically. It was a good place to work and the benefit was generous.
SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series
as a
fits
result
in
of an
with what you are
imbalance
trying
of
to do with
privilege
this
and
young
opportunity was less acknowledged or recognized. What we needed urgently to achieve
The reality
was to get
is
Sasol
that
plugged
private
into the
funders
broader
do not just
transformation program,
thoughtlessly
taking
throw their
place
resources
in all
around.
areas of strategic
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
About a year
Corruption in
after
South
I
Africa
arrived,
has
I
reached
made my first
disgraceful levels.
presentation to the company's
First things
top
first,
1,000
let's get to my point feature.
organization
So,
of one part
did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry
I
yesterday?
then went on to explain that I'd found Sasol's people as individuals to be warm, loyal, and fiercely proud of their company and its achievements. However, as a group, they handled external relationships with a harsh and arrogant command and control attitude, which failed to translate that individual humanity. Addressing this disconnect, I concluded our culture of inclusiveness and acknowledgement of others. In other words, to transform the win-lose attitude to one that was win-win, to shift from an environment where a lack of diversity was the order of the day to one where diversity was encouraged and embraced. Transforming SASO into a committed corporate citizen would require an institutional shift as profound as any we have had seen so far in our new democracy. The leaders of the organization had to drive this change. Interventions. Having surveyed existing perceptions and outlined the principles behind the desired culture change, it was time to business world, and are often difficult For SASO, the business case for change came down to the company's growth ambitions and aspirations. Already operating in 35 countries, the company was looking ever outward, especially to the Middle East and the rest of the African continent. Continued expansion to international markets meant an increasing need to open up the organizational culture. Sustainability in our growth context required addressing concerns around diversity both within and outside of South Africa. And culture change was an enabling strategy to ensure that sustainability. Unlocking this strategy largely came down to attracting the right people and entering into healthy win-win relationships with all stakeholders, including governments. Continued growth would demand better management of our talent pipeline, and also that management needed to reflect the progressive and inclusive culture that we wanted for the company. Diversity here extended from diversity in skills and thinking
This
to
is
diversity in
SAFM,
geography,
leading the
race,
conversations
and
that move
gender.
us.
In those days, we were in the early stages
tell me
of
about how
establishing
this
new
concept
projects around Africa,
fits in with
Mozambique,
what you are trying to
and
do
the
with
Middle
this young
East, Qatar, and were about phase of those operations. We want
is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
and then taking big symbolic actions that convey and transmit those shifts to the company. The term symbolic should not be confused with meaningless or empty. It refers rather to actions that intentionally make a big and visible public statement. The first paradigm shift we wanted to make clear at SASO was around the face of leadership. And the first symbolic...
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
Get a free ride in the face of the provisions of Section 6 of the Commissions Act and Regulation 8.1, both of which create an offence for refusing to answer questions at the Commission. So, Mr. Shaskalsin, we direct you to put no less than 4 questions to witness F. Depending on his answers, he may expose himself to a possible criminal charge under Section 6 and Regulation 8.1. Also, my reference to at least 4 questions does not mean that if we, the commissioners, or anybody participating in these proceedings, or in future for that matter, may not put questions to witness F. There is questions additional to the 4, the minimum of 4, that I am directing you to put, Mr. Shaskalsin.
Can I choose when in the sequence to put those 4, or do you want me to start with 4 questions?
I prefer that they follow each other so that we know where we are with the witness. I don't know whether you would be ready to do that or whether you would want to, or rather I would prefer that we take a 2-3 minute agenda.
No, I'm ready to begin.
Before you continue, Mr. Shaskalsin, as we took a bit of time before, Mr. Ngwato, we took quite some time considering the order and we debated it amongst ourselves, but it has just occurred to us now that the order does not cover everything it should cover. Paragraph 2 of the order should relate also to the evidence leaders being granted leave to lead whatever other evidence, even if that evidence is not WhatsApp texts or WhatsApp chats, because we would imagine that there's the possibility that there is such evidence as well. So we amend paragraph 2 accordingly.
Thank you, Chair. I've been told that the witness's attorney has not yet arrived at the premises. Maybe if I can defer my questions until a later stage so that the witness's attorney is present.
That's in order. Let's start with what you are able to start with.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to start, let's first start with housekeeping. There should, in front of you, be 3 different bundles.
Just a very important procedural step, Mr. Shaskalsin. Witness F, are you there? Yes. You've heard our order, have you?
Definitely, I've heard it, your order, Commissioner.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I heard it, Commissioner.
Oh, thank you. Now, you've also heard that questions are going to be put to you, whatever your answer will be. So we cannot expect you to answer questions. Of course, we don't know what your attitude to the questions will be, but we cannot expect you to answer questions not having taken an oath. Will you swear or will you affirm? Because I want to administer the oath at this stage.
I swear.
So you will, all right. Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you very much. And I do not remember if I greeted you. Good morning, witness F.
Good morning, commissioners. I greeted you earlier. I assume maybe Commissioner forgot, maybe AG and so forth. Thank you, Commissioner.
Mr. Ngwato, are you fine if we... That look, Mr. Ngwato, seems to speak volumes. Perhaps I should not even say it's a look. It's like you are glaring at me. Mr. Ngwato, are you fine if we proceed, or would you rather we wait until your colleague has arrived at the location the witness is testifying from?
I'm fine on the following basis, Commissioner, that there will be no questions for him to ask until such time. It is just as the Commission ruled that they will display messages.
All right.
And I suppose maybe by the time questions are raised, Mr. Maleka will have been there. So on that basis, that it's just going to be watch and show.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Ngwato. Thank you. Please proceed, Mr. Shaskalsin.
Thank you, Chair. Can I just clarify that there should be at least 3 files in front of you, a statement bundle, or behind you, an exhibit bundle, and an annexure to exhibit bundle. And Witness F, can I ask that on your side also you check that you have those?
Just a moment. The last one, it's 2 files. So the one you say is exhibit annexures to exhibits bundle. It's 2 files, not 1.
So then there should be 4.
Yeah. 5.
This is not an auspicious beginning.
Can you please assist me with the numbering? For example, I have here exhibits bundle, file 1 of 4.
Yes.
So, okay.
Up to 4.
Up to 4. So Oh, I have 1 up to 4. Thank you. Exhibits bundle. Okay.
Ms. Chaskasin, can I repeat so that we are on the same page? We have the statement file.
Indeed.
And then we have the exhibits bundle, which is file 1 of 4. And then we have exhibits bundle, which is file 2 of 4. And then we have annexures to exhibits bundle, which is 3 of 4. And then we have annexures to exhibits bundle, which is 4 of 4. So it's 5 files in total. Maybe yours are different, but
we have the same documents organized differently.
Yes, Mr. Chaskalson.
And Witness F, can I just clarify that you too have those 5 different files? One file called statement bundle or statement file, one file called exhibit bundle 1 of 4, another file called exhibit bundle 2 of 4, another file called annexure to exhibit bundle 3 of 4, and the last file annexure to exhibit bundle 4 of 4.
Yes, I confirm.
Thank you. Can I have that as one of my 4 questions? Can I then ask, if we go to
Commissioner.
page 320?
Sorry, Mr. Chaskalson, I think Mr. Ngwato has something to say.
Just on the bundles, maybe if Mr. Chaskalson could just assist. I don't have 5 bundles, I've got 3 bundles. But maybe just in terms of the index and pagination, what's the total number of pages? Then I'll know where we are, because I've got 3, not 5. The index and annexes exhibits is until to page 538.
That's correct. And so I understand that the commissioners and the witness will have those 538 pages split between 2 files. But the pagination is the same, 538.
No, I just wanted to confirm, because we were never given files, or files were never delivered to us. We were given a link, and from the link we printed. So we didn't print in terms of 5 files, but in terms of the index, we'll confirm whether we say we have the same thing. Because the second bundle will be 795 as the total number of pages for index and exhibits.
That's the same for me.
Okay. So that the witness doesn't get confused as to file 4, file 3, and he doesn't have file 4 or file 5. He only has 3 files in front of him.
Okay. Well, but we will then as between me and the witness, I'll refer to the index to exhibits file, which is the 795 page file, and the exhibit file, and then the annexures of exhibits, which is the 538 page file.
Thank you. As long as we stick to page numbers, then you'll be able to follow easily.
Thank you, Mr. Ngwato. Yes, Mr. Chaskalson.
If we can start on page 320 of the exhibits file. And there at there at page 320 on the 5th of July 2023 at 18:43:47, General Sabia sent you an address I don't want anyone to mention that address because it's a private address, and it's redacted here. But if you want to confirm, that's the private address of General Sabia. If you don't want to confirm, I won't have that as, I'm happy to make that the second of my questions. But I'll put, for now, I will put it that that is the private address of General Sabia. And after some time, that private address was sent to you at 1843. At 1902, you responded, "I'm here at the gate." And just to clarify that it is indeed the private address of General Sabia, I'd like you to go to the annexure bundle, the annexure to exhibits bundle at page 145. And if you put that address into Google Maps, this is the image that is generated. And if you go to the preceding page, at annexure page 144, you will see a picture of the news coverage on the day that General Sabia's house was raided. And if you compare 145 and 144, you will see that they are the same property. Don't need you to answer anything in that regard.
Mr. Chaskasan, should we not just get him to confirm if that is so? Or you consent that
I'm happy. He doesn't have an attorney present with him. I don't think this is a contentious question, but I don't. I said I wouldn't ask him to.
I think let's have.
I confirm is the address, commissioners.
Thank you.
And I confirm also that my attorney is present with me now.
Thank you. If we can then go back into the exhibits bundle and to page 46 of the exhibits bundle, and I'm interested in a chat or message that you sent to Kat Matlala on the 4th of March 2024 at 8:21. You sent a contact card, and at Annexure 9, Annexure to exhibit bundle, page 9, that contact card is exhibited, and it is a contact card for General Sabia with a phone number of General Sabia. And the question I would ask you now, if you want to assert your right of privilege against self-incrimination, you must do so, is did you introduce Kat Matlala to General Sabia?
No.
Thank you.
Mr. Chaskasan, we don't have a context of this. When I look at this page 46, it's not obvious to us as part of the record that there's anything here that comes from the witness.
If I can just clarify.
If you could just locate, what are we looking at?
So if one goes to 46
Yes.
at 82107,
Yes.
There is an icon that says VCF.
Yes, I can see that.
That is a contact card.
Yes. Now, I'm raising a different point. You've said to him, this is what he sent. from him, but it's not apparent that this is material from his phone. That's the point I'm making, that for purpose of the record, are we looking at
what we are looking at
of his phone?
Is an extract of a series of all of the chats that were found on his phone between himself and one of the numbers used by Mr. Madlanga.
Okay.
And in fact, the index to that bundle explains what each of these sequences of chats are. So it may be useful to just quickly at the outset run through that index.
And Mr. Chairperson, seeing that Witness F was prepared to confirm something, who knows, maybe he might be prepared to confirm even this as well. But go ahead.
Let me go to the...
Yes.
I'd like to get to the index just so that we can clarify everything.
Yes.
And I just want to be on the same page. So at the front of the exhibits bundle, there is an index to the 795 pages of that bundle, which describes, well, the first 35 pages are correspondence. Thereafter, from page 36 onwards, there are indexed a whole series of chats extracted from the WhatsApps on your phone between yourself and various people. Can you confirm that what one sees on the index actually is what one sees on the bundle, that the index accurately reflects the bundle that it describes?
I confirm.
Then if we go to back to the bundle, we've seen that on the 4th of March, you who always, and can you confirm also that in these chats, you always appear on the right-hand side of the page and the counterparty always appears on the left-hand side of the page? Whether or not you are forwarding a chat or originating a chat, the counterparty is on the left and you sending or forwarding are on the right.
I confirm.
Thanks, Chair. I think I've got through my 4 questions. So I will, Witness F, unless you want to intervene going forward from here, I'm just going to put things that if at any stage you want to intervene, please feel free.
Mr. Chairperson, for my benefit, reference to outgoing and incoming, I thought that's what the issue was. So can you just clarify for us what outgoing means and what incoming means, so that when we look at all the WhatsApps, at least we have an idea?
Certainly. So the chats that appear on the right-hand side of the page are messages that are sent from the witness. They are outgoing from the witness's phone. The chats on the left-hand side of the page are messages sent by the counterparty. So from the witness's perspective, they are incoming. Frequently, you will see empty bubbles. Those reflect voice calls. The outgoing and incoming remains the same. So if the empty bubble is on the right-hand side of the page, it's a voice call initiated by the witness. If the empty bubble is on the left-hand side of the page, it's a voice call initiated by the counterparty.
You confirm that as well, Witness F?
I confirm, Commissioners.
Mr. Shaskalsin, you said that's your 4 questions, but that does not address the issue why we made reference to at least 4 questions. We made reference to that in the context of the witness having said, I am not going to answer any questions. So here he has actually answered the questions. So we have not reached a point where he says, I'm not answering that, I'm not answering that, I'm not answering that.
I certainly accept that, Chair.
Yes, because he will only be within the Section 6 and Regulation 8.1 net once he has said, I will not answer that.
Indeed, Chair, but I did make an undertaking to the witness, and I'm not going to go beyond that undertaking. Witness F, if you want to jump in at any point, please feel free, but I will not ask you questions going forward. Further questions.
We directed in so many words that you should. So it's a direction from the Commission, Mr. Chaskalsin. Because point is, yes, from where you are sitting, it's a practical way of just quickly having the evidence before the Commission. But this Commission would create a bad and unfortunate precedent if we were to proceed along the lines of just letting a witness say, I will not be answering any questions, without anybody putting specific questions to him. If an attempt were to be made down the line to bring criminal proceedings against him, he will easily say, but who put what question to me? And to what question did I refuse to respond? And he will be found not guilty and discharged. That's a precedent we do not want to create.
Chair, if you are instructing me, I will ask questions, but it is also yes. A tricky situation, Chair, because if I am just going through the chats, I will do it in one way. If I am questioning the witness rigorously, I will do it in another way. In some respects, I will follow the procedure of just going through the chats, because I think that is the easiest way of organizing the material. There will be occasions when I will have to ask the witness, I will ask the witness to clarify questions, but for the most part, I will be putting to you what the chats say.
Perhaps what I should do, I hope my co-commissioners agree, is not to insist that you ask 4 consecutive questions as you go along. We want to see you ask questions, and we want to see the witness's response. If his response is that I will not answer, then he will be within the Section 6 and Regulation 8.1 net. The simple point is we do not, and colloquially, want to give him a free ride on this. Thank you, Mr. Shaskalsin.
Thank you, Chair. Can we then go to page 48 and start at 6:47 in the morning? 48 of the, unless I mention, all of my page references are going to be to the exhibit bundle where I'm referring to specific annexures. I will mention them. So at 6:47, there was a voice call from Kat Matlala to yourself. That was followed at 6:52 by a message from Mr. Matlala saying, call me. You called back at 7:22. Mr. Matlala then sent you a voice note, and I'd like us to play that voice note. That voice note was sent at 7:24 in the morning. Chair, we have some technical difficulties here. I need that for this. Sorry, come help me. Where?
Yes, Mr. Shackleton.
Sorry to bother you. Sorry to bother you, Sir Ali. Sorry to bother you, Sir Ali. Can you send me a pin drop to where the box to where the impalas must go, please, sir? If you can just send me a pin drop where it must go to.
I'll play it a third time.
Sorry to bother you, Sir Ali. Can you send me a pin drop to where the box to where the impalas must go, please, sir? If you can just send me a pin drop where it must go to.
Tell us, sorry, witness. First tell us who's speaking and then respond to Advocate Shaskelson's question.
Commissioners, the person who's speaking in that voice note, I don't know him. It was the message that was sent to me. I can't remember by who. For now, I can't answer that who exactly was that in my WhatsApp.
Yes, Mr. Shaskelsson.
Can I then ask you to go to page 214?
Mr. Shaskelsson, can I just confirm with the witness what his answer means? Witness F, Mr. Shaskelsson put to you that this note was sent to you by Mr. Madlanga, and I think you have said you can't remember who sent it to you. Does that mean you don't confirm that it was sent to you by Mr. Madlanga?
That's correct, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Well, witness, if I have to put it to you that it was extracted from the chat between yourself and Kat Matlala. So what I played there was the voice note that one sees in the extracted chats at page 48 of the bundle, where there is an icon that says Opus. That is the file that is in the chats, and that was played aloud.
Hard work I am. You pulled the extending into shell. I hold myself in Pomele. Shilo inni makanana. Shilo inni makanana. Shilo inni makanana. She got the shama jarma. Shilo inni makanana. Shilo inni makanana. Shilo inni makanana. She got the shama jarma. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. She got the shama jarma. Shilo inni makanana. Shilo inni makanana. Shilo inni makanana. She got the shama jarma. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. She got the shama jarma. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
angikhathali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work yena ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo omelela benza njalo I owe myself impumelelo sesiseduze nayo Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mani Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shilo ini makanana Shigepisha machari mani makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Ilesh makanana Shigepisha machari mani Shilo ini makanana Shiloini makanana, Shiloini makanana, Shilepisha majarima, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Shilepisha majarima, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana,
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
angikhathali eyonto phela isuke inzima hard work I am ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo melela benza njalo I hold myself impumelelo sesiseduze
Shilo ini makanana, shilo ini makanana, shigepisha machana mane. Shilo ini makanana, shilo ini makanana, shilo ini makanana, shigepisha machana mane. Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, shigepisha machana mane. Shilo ini makanana, shilo ini makanana, shilo ini makanana, shigepisha machana mane. Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, shigepisha machana mane. Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana, Ilesh makanana.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM.
Music never sleeps, and neither do we.
phela inzima. Hard work I am. Ngivuke ekuseni ngenza uhlelo, kumele ngabenza njalo. I hold myself impumelelo. Asiseseduze nayo.
Shilo ini makanana, shilo ini makanana, shilo ini makanana. She got the shamajari mani. Shilo ini makanana, shilo ini makanana, shilo ini makanana. She got the shamajari mani. Yes, yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana. She got the shamajari mani. Shilo ini makanana. Shilo ini makanana. Shilo ini makanana. She got the shamajari mani. Yes, makanana. Yes, makanana.
I'm going to send you a voice note. Please will you send it on to General Sabir? I'm going to send you a voice note. Please will you
A screenshot.
send it on to General Sabir?
I think you said voice note screenshot.
No, I'm talking first about the voice note because the document that the message that is forwarded to General Sabir is the voice note saying where must I deliver the impalas. That is forwarded to General Sabir is the voice note saying where must I deliver. So in the conversation between yourself and Mr. Madlanga, in anticipation or at 7:22, because there was a call at 7:22 before the voice note was sent to you at 7:24, and bear in mind you forwarded it on at 7:24. In that conversation of 7:22, your recollection is Mr. Madlanga would have said, "I'm sending you a voice note, please forward to General Sabir." I'm sending you a voice note, please forward to General Sabir.
Said that. But I can't really remember, but I can confirm I've spoken to him prior before this message.
And did you know that he was in the process of arranging for impalas to be delivered to General Sabir? Was in the process of arranging for impalas to be delivered to General Sabir. But then you received this voice note that made it clear that he was arranging for impalas to be delivered to General Sabir. That made it clear that he was arranging for impalas to be delivered to General Sabir.
I can't really comment on that. He made it clear that he was arranging impalas for General Sabir. But I can confirm that he made a call and then he sent those notes. But if there was any arrangement, I don't know of that.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us.
If Mr. Madlanga is making an arrangement with General
Just tell me
Sabir,
about how this concert series
would he
fits in
ask,
with what you are trying to
do it through you? Why would he send the voice note to you and ask you to forward it to General Sabir as opposed to sending it directly to General
The
Sabir?
reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their
To answer that
resources
question,
around.
Commissioner,
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing
I
loss.
think maybe it was one of the
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first. Let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
Carry on, I'll answer for you.
Sorry, but if you go back to the annexure bundle on page 9, read with page 46 of the exhibits bundle, you had actually given him General Sabir's number on the 4th of March, which was
just tell me about how this concept
more than 2 weeks previously. So if he wanted to contact General Sabir directly, he knew how to do it. You'd given him General Sabir's number. Contact General Sabir directly, he knew how to do it. You'd given him General Sabir's number.
Can I comment on that?
Yes, please, Witness
Can I
F.
comment on that? Okay,
Yes, please,
Commissioners, one of the reasons that I assume that Mr. Madlanga sent that thing to me that it was because maybe he did not get hold of General Sibiya. Hold of. That's why he said that to me.
But could he not just have sent the voice note to General Sibiya in the same way that he sent the voice note to you? He didn't need anyone to pick up the phone. He just needed someone to receive a voice note.
Thank you, Commissioners. If your phone is off or you are offline, when you send something on WhatsApp, it will only take one line. So I assume maybe General Sibiya's phones were off.
What you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality
Can I put another possibility to you?
thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack.
Let's go back a day
a finance guy,
from the 21st of March. Let's look on the 20th of March on page 47.
Who has hearing loss?
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point.
And
feature. So,
at 12,
did you see
49:27,
Ronaldo cry yesterday?
you'll see that Mr. Matlala sent you a case number.
This is SAFM.
Case number's been redacted. I'm not sure that it's necessary for the case number to be redacted. But you presumably can see what case number it was. And then if we go over the next page, at page 48, a few minutes later, at 12:52, you sent a text back saying station. Which police station? Because as we know now, each police station has its own set of case numbers. And Mr. Matlala came back saying Mamelodi East. So he had sent you a case station from Mamelodi East. If we then go forward to the 21st of March again, after he sends you the voice note about the Impalas. At the foot of page 48, at 7:44 in the morning, well, let's maybe go back one chat. He sends you the voice note. At 7:37, there's a call from him to you. At 7:44, he sends up a message. You didn't send anything here. In other words, he's following up saying, why haven't you sent me what you should send me? You immediately respond over the page, 49 at 7:44:23, so that's 9 seconds later, by sending an image of a screen, and that screen is at page 11 of the Annexure bundle. And that is an SAPS screen of case number 15703 of 2024 in Mamelodi East. It tells you who it was allocated to, when it passed hands to a different investigating officer, and who is responsible for that case. And it gives the name of the detective who's responsible for that case. Is that correct?
That's correct, Commissioners.
What was Mr. Matlala's interest in this case, and what was your reason for WhatsApping this screen to him?
Thank you, Commissioners. The reason Mr. Matlala sent this to me, it was actually a complaint. According to him, when he phoned me, he said one of his employees, that was a female employee, was being abused by her husband, and when she opened cases, there is no movement. Therefore, as a proxy of that female woman, he asked me to check the progress of that particular case. That is when and how I've sent in this screenshot.
Witness F, I think you know that answer is false.
SAFM, leading the
Do you want to
conversation
reconsider
ahead of
it
us. This
and tell the Commission what case 15703 of 2024 was really about?
In with what you are trying to do with this young people.
I still stand by my answer. That is what Mr. Madlanga told the commissioners.
That private funders do not just thoughtlessly.
And you didn't make any inquiries yourself?
It is one thing to
I
get a
did
backtrack
not.
like that for a finance
Commissioners.
guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has
Well,
a daughter.
what the evidence will be is that this case, 15703 of 2024, involved the murder of Kabelo
First things
Richard
first,
Mate,
Let's get to my. That's my.
who was
my
murdered
daily, that's my
outside a
point
four-room
feature.
house in Mamelodi, Sector
Did
1,
you see Cristiano Ronaldo
and
cry
at a crime
yesterday?
scene where 50 cartridges were found. There was no private complainant at all. The complainant was the constable to whom it was reported.
This is SAFM.
And I put it to you that this looks very much like a case in which Mr. Matlal's query would have been made on behalf of a perpetrator and not on behalf of a victim. What is your response to that?
What you are trying to do with these young people.
My response to that, Commissioner, I would have not known
The reality is that private funders
what
do
you're
not just
putting to me now.
thoughtlessly throw their resources.
And you didn't bother to find out what case
It is one thing to get a
15703 of
backtrack like that for a
2024 at
finance
Mamelodi
guy, eh?
East
Somebody
involved.
just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter
I did not
who
know.
has hearing
I
loss.
did not do that, Commissioner.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first. Let's get to my. That's my daily. That's my point feature.
Before we leave this Impala
did you see
topic,
Cristiano Ronaldo cry
I want
yesterday?
to take you.
Even before you move further, can I just ask about this page here? Witness F, this is an SAPS record that you obviously had access to. What do you mean you didn't know what it was about if you had access to the SAPS record? That's the only way you could have been able to forward this. It's part of a record.
That's correct, Commissioner. The reason that I did not know, I sent it, I forwarded it to someone else as well, because at that particular time, I did not have an access to the SAPS system. That is the reason I have forwarded to somebody else.
What do you mean that's the reason you forwarded to somebody else? What did you forward to somebody else?
I did forward that case number that Mr. Madlanga forwarded to me.
Yes, you forwarded it to somebody else, and what happens?
That is where they checked for me. As you see there, on top it says warrant officer. So I did not check all of it because of at that particular time I had no access.
Yes, and you say then if it is true, if we accept that this came to you from somebody else, and because you didn't have access to the record, when you send this to Mr. Madlanga, why are you sending this? He's just given you a case number on what we see in the earlier page. He gave you the station. Why are you sending him the name of the people or the person who's dealing with the matter? He's not the complainant in the matter. Why are you giving him the name of the detective who's dealing with this matter?
As I've said earlier, Commissioner, according to him, he was the proxy of that particular person was in abuse. And little guy knows that he was the murder case I just wanted and then gave him back the ball because of, according to him, he was the proxy to that person.
What do you mean he was a proxy? Can I just go to as a proxy to a substation and say, give me the details of a case, docket? I don't understand. Well, maybe firstly tell us about that SEPS process, but also explain what you mean he was a proxy that entitled him to information about the person in charge of a matter.
Thank you, Commissioner. According to me, sometimes when maybe I took it like this. This is a woman. Maybe sometimes when she goes to the police station, they are taking advantage of her, that they won't listen to her because she's a woman. And then she engages her boss. Now is Mr. Matala. And then Mr. Matala engages me. This is how I took it. That is the reason I'm saying a proxy. Maybe she was checking on behalf.
This is SAFM, leading the conversations that move us.
And you, as a SEPS officer, you didn't think to engage this detective to find out what's happening with the matter, because I would have thought that's what you would do, to find out for Mr. Matala what's happening with the matter, instead of giving him the details of an investigating officer.
Do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
At that time, Commissioner,
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter.
Sorry, Ms.
who has
Chaskasan,
hearing
unless you're going to deal with this at some point later, I need to know what this is. I don't know what this is. I see the information
let's get
on
to
the
my-
document,
that's my daily,
but
that's my
I need
point
to
feature.
know
So,
what this is before we leave it.
Did you see Cristiano
So
Ronaldo
maybe
cry
I should just
yesterday?
ask the question. Witness F, what we are looking at on page 11, does that come from a SAPS IT system, and what is it exactly?
This
it's a case number, Commissioner.
Just tell me about how this concert series.
No, Witness F, it can be a case number. Some of the information on the document is a case number, but the entire screenshot appears to be information from an IT system. Can you just confirm for me that this is an internal SAPS IT system that stores information about the progress of a case?
That she has
That's correct. I confirm that, Commissioner.
And would
Corruption in South Africa
please
has
continue.
reached disgraceful levels.
Okay,
First things first. Let's get to my daily, that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
Who was it located to? Who is the investigating officer?
And
Commissioners,
Witness F, just bear with me. Sorry, I can't see your face, so I don't know when you are done with an answer or not. Would an ordinary citizen have access to this SAPS system?
no, Commissioner.
So only you as a policeman or your colleague would have had access to this system?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Witness F, before we leave the Impala topic, can we go to page 307?
What page number?
307 of the exhibit bundle. Do you have it?
Yes, I have it.
If you go to 1505.33, you will see that you sent a message to General Sabia at 1505.33. And before we listen to that message, can you go to 194, which is it's a set of chats from a different number of General Sabia. And at 194, also at 1505.33, we see a message sent to General Sabia. It's going to be a voice note. In fact, it's going to be the same voice note. Can I ask that we play that voice note?
Ali, can you send me a pin drop to where the box, to where the impalas must go, please, sir? If you can just send me a pin drop where it must go to.
So at 15:05 on the 6th of August 2025, you sent that voice note from Rudy, farm manager, to General Sabia again. That was, gosh, almost 18 months later. And you sent it to him on both of his phones. Is that correct? And you sent it to him on both of his phones. Can you explain why?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Can you explain why?
You are saying now I've sent this voice note 18 months later. You are saying now I've sent this.
Well, to be exact, 14 and a half months later, 15 months later. Well, to be exact, 14 and a half months later, 15
On that one, I can't remember on how or why did I send it 18 months later. But I do confirm that I did send it immediately after Mr. Madala forwarded to me. Immediately after Mr. Madala forwarded to me.
Well, I had a theory as to why you might have sent it, might have wanted to send it to him more than a year after the event. And I'm going to put it to you. And you must feel free to answer it as you see fit. It occurred to me that by August 2025, General Sabia might have thought that it was convenient for him to try to make you a fall guy for some of the things that you had done for him previously, and that you were sending him this audio just to remind him that if you fell, he fell too. What's your comment on that? That if you fell, he fell too. What's your comment on that?
I can't comment on that, Commissioners.
But you can't offer any reason why you would have sent this voice note in two separate messages to two different numbers of General Sabia. Two separate messages to two different numbers of General Sabia in August 2025, when it was originally sent in March 2024.
To be honest with you, I can't remember why did I send him, but I tend to differ on your version where you say you are bringing to me that maybe General Sabia was blackmailing me on saying something else. Then as a result, I've sent that note saying, if you fall, I fall. By the time that thing was sent to me, I did not know what was it for. I did not expect it. They sent it to me by Mr. Madala. I sent it to General Sabia.
But presumably by August 2025, you would have realized that the fact that Mr. Matlala had arranged for the delivery of some impalas to General Sabia's private home was not going to be well received by the public. Or by internal audit people at SAPS.
I can't comment on that, Commissioners, because I don't know.
Well, let's move on then. Can we now go to page 701? And we're now in chats between yourself and the late Deputy President, Mr. Didi Mabuza. And on page 701, on the